Now let's talk about recipients in Exchange. There are two basic kind of Exchange recipients. Actually, there's four, but there's two kinds of user recipients. Now, we can have a mailbox-enabled user or a mail-enabled user. And let me explain the difference, and then we'll create one of each. A mailbox-enabled user is a user that has an account in Active Directory, an Exchange mailbox, and an email address. Let's create one of those. Now this is a mailbox enabled user. So what I'll do is I'll right click, choose. Now notice I'm in Active Directory users and computers. I right click, choose new user, and we'll call this person Frank Smith, Frank S. So we can find him easy. Now we'll set a password. Clear this. Hit next. Notice it's going to ask me, do I want to create an Exchange mailbox? Well, yes. Now notice I can choose which server and I can choose which storage group that I want to put it in, which mailbox store and which storage group. So I'll click next. It'll click and hum a second, and we will end up with a mailbox enabled user. We created a user and we created a mailbox, and we can click finish. Now that's a mailbox enabled user. Frank has a mailbox. Now let's create a new user, and this time we will do Jack Jones. J Jones will be the login name. We'll do next. Now we need to give Jack Jones. And I want you to notice something right here. Right click on Jack Jones, I can go to Exchange Tasks. Now I'm welcome to the Task Wizard, and notice I can either create a mailbox for Jack or I can establish an email address. Now I can establish an external email address, and I can say that it's an SMTP address, and so his mailbox name is jack@hotmail.com. I can apply this, and so it's mail enabling a user. Now Jack has an external email address somewhere. This user is listed in the global address list in Active Directory, and our users can see him. And notice what's happening. It's setting him up, and I won't put you through waiting for all this, but what we've created is a way for other users to easily locate and send mail to this guy. Okay, so he's going to show up, and I can send mail to him, and it's going to be routed out of Exchange out to that address. So that's the difference between a mailbox enabled and a mail enabled user. Keep in mind, we can also have contact recipients. Contact is somebody configured with an email address that is not a user, and then we can have group recipients. And so we can apply mail addresses to groups. So these are like distribution groups. So notice, for example, we'll say domain admins. Notice Exchange Tasks. I can establish an email address for this group. There's a lot of different types of recipients. The main two you're going to use are mailbox enabled users and mail enabled users.